name is Becky, and this is a hand knit letter, a show and tell about the stuff I've made and the stuff I want to make. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's talk about knitting. Today I'm wearing some stuff I made. This is the Traveler Shell by Andrea Mowry. I just finished it this week. This took forever. And mostly because of me. Well, all because of me. It was my choices, I would say that. I've mentioned before how the dark yarn got me, the textured yarn got me, and I had a hard time seeing because I have poor vision. I wear bifocals, and even with a bright light and little knitting reading light thingies, I had a difficult time. So what did I learn from this? To quote Anna Delvey, nothing.
What are you gonna take away from this competition? Nothing.
I learned that I shouldn't do dark yarn and nubbly yarn because it's hard for me and small stitches. But I probably will do something like this again because, like I said, I learned nothing. I do love this cardigan. It is it's really wearable. Really wearable. I'll put some video here of me wearing it. I think I'll enjoy it even up to this, through the springtime. Not the summertime because it's, it's a terrible summer here most of the time because of how humid it is. But I digress. Tangent train. Woo woo. Yeah, what were we talking about? How much I love this. I do love it. It's kind of like childbirth. Like, it's horrible and you're like, let's do it again. Okay, so I think you should make this if you like the way this looks, and if you've got good eyesight, pick dark yarn, and if you've got bad eyesight, pick light yarn and have a good time. Okay, so my next thing that I made is a shawl for a friend of mine. This is a gift, and this was to go along with Casey of Young Folk Knits, her Mosaic Mayhem knit along. And so it's patterns that include mosaic stitches in them, and I think it runs till December 31st. So you still have some time if you are a fast knitter to do something to join that knit along. But I knit the Study Hall Shawl. This is a shawl by Sarah Shira or Skira, not sure. And I knit this out of some yarn that was given to me. That's the teal yarn. I don't know what that is because it didn't have a label. And this is a Madeline Tosh of some sort that I also don't know because I put it in a different project and took it out and put another one and took it out. And so this is the third iteration of this yarn. But I went rogue on this shawl. I'm gonna hold it up and I'll put some video too in there. And the reason why I went rogue is because I was gonna run out of yarn at a stupid place. Like, it wouldn't make sense in the shawl to run out of the yarn. So I switched things up. So right here is where I switched it up. This is supposed to have 6 repeats. So it's supposed to come down to here, this chart right here. I only did 4. And that's where this is where it finished being the Study Hall shawl and became the whatever the heck Becky wanted to do shawl. And so I put the blue here, striped it a little bit, and finished it off in this terracotta red color. And I used every single scrap of both yarn skeins. I loved that. So I'm gonna give this to my friend as a gift, and she doesn't know about it, and she doesn't watch this podcast, so this is gonna be a surprise. This shawl was, the color story was inspired by Gypsy Camp by Van Gogh. This is one of my Van Gogh projects, and I really love it. And it has a very, I think it has the vibe too, not just the color story, but just the whole Gypsy Camp vibe. So I also managed to accomplish a hat in this time, and this is the Zoom hat by Sarah Dimond. And this is a free pattern that she has put up on Ravelry. She's also the dyer of this beautiful Surrey This is Diamond Lane Birdie in the color Picnic, and it's held together with spin cycles dyed in the wool in the color Truth Bomb. So really pretty colors. I had quite a bit left of the Surrey and a little bit left of the Truth Bomb, and I probably will make some Soho scrunchies by Tori Yu, because I think that would be cool. I've got a tiny little pea head, and it's like one of those little guineas. I don't know if you see guineas where you live, but where I live, people have chickens and guineas quite often, and they have the tiniest little heads, and that's how I feel. That's like me. So this is larger on me than I think it would be on most people. This comes in one size, but I think that it would fit most people. Because it's so large, I have to cuff it for my head, but you probably don't have to do that for yourself. But I will put it on, and hopefully it won't look insane with my hair. So you can kind of see how it looks on. And it's really lovely. It is such a soft yarn. It knits up really quick, this pattern does. Both of these were, one was a lace weight or fingering weight, that would be the Birdie, and then the Truth Bomb is a spin cycle one, is a sport. And so those held together made this hat, so you probably can do this with a DK if you wanted to use a single skein of yarn. Free pattern, so that's fantastic. So was the Study Hall shawl, and go check those out. So let's talk about stuff I'm making. So in stuff I'm making, I just have one thing currently cast on. I think it's in here. This, I'm loving this. A chocolate chip just fell out of my bag. I have just one thing on my needles currently, but that's going to change pretty soon. And right now I have the Grid Gambit by Samantha Guerin. I'll hold it up here so you can see. I've got two skeins attached here, so it's kind of awkward. So this is a cowl, a mosaic cowl. So this will also be entered into Casey's Mosaic Mayhem Knit Along. You knit from this little corner right here up, and you somehow, at some point, I don't really know what, which, or where, or when, but you seam, I think it's this way, I don't know, we'll find out. It's gonna be a surprise. You seam it up on the back here, and then it becomes like a little cowl. Maybe it's like this, maybe it's like that. Well, it's definitely not like that. No. We'll find out, okay? I'm having the best time making this. This is so much fun to knit. It probably, I mean, if you hate mosaic color work, then you probably wouldn't like this, but otherwise I would say I would be shocked if you didn't have fun with this pattern. It's easily understandable, memorizable. It's written, has written instructions and charted instructions. So if your brain likes one or the other, that's included, which is fantastic. I think the price point on the pattern is fantastic, and I'm loving it. And I'm definitely gonna make another one because this is so much fun. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I really do like making accessories because they're like, the gratification there is not delayed. So it's really nice because it doesn't take that long to make them, and they look fantastic, and they're like, I like wearing them more than necklaces and things. So in the winter, it really does make me happy to wear scarves and shawls and neckerchiefs and cowls. They're a lot of fun for me. What did I make? What am I making this out of? The main color is, let's see here. The main color is Daylights by Harrisville, and this is in the color Lint. So the Daylights are a kind of like, I don't know if this is a natural color or just a dyed kind of creamy stone color, but they fleck it with like fuzzes or little bits of fuzzes. They fleck it with little flecks of different colors, and so it kind of gives a hue or a tone, but you can see the colors in there, but it is very subtle. This one's done in a purple, and this is in the color Lint. Like I said, I'm not sure if you can get any of that, reading any purple in the screen, but there is like a lilac or lilac kind of color purple in there. And I'm holding that with Junction Fiber Mill, Making Tracks in the color Lookout Lodge. So this yarn is so pretty and so much fun. This is also a gift knit for someone, unless I just need it at the end. So I'm not telling anyone who it's for. But this yarn was given to me by Lori, my friend Lori, and she watched one of my podcasts and said she wanted to share this one with me, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Lori. And I'm enjoying it very, very much. I love it. So I'm definitely going to buy more yarn from Junction Fiber Mill. It feels so good to knit with. It is bouncy and soft, and it's just really, really nice. So I love it. And I like the way it's fading. These typically aren't colors I gravitate to, like the purple and this like kind of aqua. Well, that's a lie too, isn't it? Don't listen to me. I love it. Like let's put it this way, I wouldn't have chose this skein of yarn, this color, but I am in love with it. I love it so much. So thank you very much, Lori. I love it, and I'm loving every second of this pattern. So if you're looking for a cowl or something fun to knit that you're not going to pull your hair out, but it's gonna look, whoa, whoa. It's gonna look like you are smart, you can knit this, and people are gonna be like, how'd you do that? I'm just that good. And you'd be like, I don't know, just good. So in stuff I wanna make, I am going to knit a project inspired by Wheat Field with Lark. And what I'm choosing for this particular painting is a cardigan with a lot of texture, because I feel like the Wheat Field has a lot of texture. I love the color down here. It reminded me a lot of this particular cardigan pattern, and that is the Jacob's cardigan by Nora Gone. So I'm going to knit that, and the yarn I chose to go with the Wheat Field painting is it's Purl Soho, good wool, and this color is called Wild Mustard. So I think the texture, the color, I really like the shawl collar of that cardigan. I think I'm gonna enjoy wearing that. It's a kind of a simple silhouette, but I think the texture is really cool in that cardigan, and it looks like something that I could wear with lots of things. But I think that this color goes really well with the wheat. Yeah, so I'm excited to make this. I'm gonna cast this on probably this weekend and get going with that. So I'm excited about that. I have plans to make a Pressed Flowers Kerchief by Amy Christoffers, and I have 2 skeins of Daily Wool by Purl Soho. I'm gonna use these 2 together, and they are, let's see here, Lake Blue and Olive, something olive. Let me find my tag. Lake Blue and Olive Tree. So I think the main color is gonna be at the Lake Blue, and then I'm gonna make the flowers out of this olive tree. And I think they'll kind of look like clovers a little bit, and that's my dog's name, so I think that would be kind of cute to have a little pressed flowers, pressed clovers kerchief. Let's talk about stuff you made. So I had so many creative and talented makers send me pictures of their recent projects or projects that they've made this year that they really enjoyed, and they're just beautiful. You guys are so talented and so creative. I wish I could show them all on this episode, but you know, I don't have time, but I'm going to feature them as I make more episodes. So if I don't show yours today, it's not because I don't love it. I do love it. Or I don't think that people should see it. I am definitely going to share it on the next episode. So these are just the few that I've chosen for this episode, and basically it has to do with chronologically. That's just as they were sent to me, those are the ones that I chose until I got, I think, 6. Yeah, I got 6 projects, and then I had to call it quits for this episode. So first up is Emily. She is also known as the Stitchling on Instagram, and this is her design. This is the Turner gloves, and it's a free pattern that she has generously put on Ravelry for everyone to use, and they're gorgeous. They're done in a fingering weight yarn. They're beautiful color work, fingerless mitt. She is super talented. So way to go, Emily, good job. So next up is Cindy. These are her amazing socks. She's also known as C. Carey Designs on Instagram, and she says she likes to wing it when it comes to socks, but she did use the toe instructions from Kay Jones Umbrella Socks and a fish lips kiss heel, a chili dog sewn bind off, sounds delicious, broken rib texture. She knit these 2 at a time, toe up, magic loop. If that's not like a mic drop moment, I don't know what is. Cindy did an excellent job, and my shoe size is 8. Coming in hot with a beautiful spin that she did. She's also known as Life with Wool on Instagram. She spun this from Shetland wool sheep that were raised in Kentucky, and she spun 20 ounces of fiber in 2-ply, nope, sorry Tina. She spun, what'd she do? She spun 20 ounces of fiber in 3-ply yarn and got 86 yards. And she's going to use that for a special Shetland project. And that will be very special. I would love to spin, but alas, I do not. Now we have Victoria. She's known as Some Very Good Knits or Some V Good Knits on Instagram, and she knit a Maxine hot water bottle cover, and this is a pattern by Laura Penrose, and hers is beautiful. And what's even more beautiful is that she knit this for a friend who's going through a rough time. So I think that is sweet and heartwarming and literally warming. Actually warming. Get it? Because it's a hot water bottle. So good job, Victoria, for your beautiful hot water bottle cover, but also your beautiful heart. So next is Sarah, and she is Coffee Knits with Sarah on Instagram and on YouTube. She has a knitting podcast that I watch and enjoy, so be sure to go check out Sarah. She knit a poet scarf by Sari Nordland, and she knit this out of KAOS. I don't know if it's meant to say that out, like say each letter separately, or if it's chaos or chaos. Yarn, organic, brushed alpaca, and soft merino in the color fair. And she made this for her mama. And this is the first time she's done a lace work chart, and she learned how to read lace work charts with this pattern, and she really appreciated that she was able to expand her skills in a small project. And I think that's a really good tip, Sarah, is to choose something that has a skill or a technique that you've never done before that you might be nervous about in a small project, like a scarf or a hat or a cowl, before attempting and becoming frustrated with, or overwhelmed, I should say, with a large project like a full-size adult sweater or large shawl, something like that. So excellent tip, Sarah. And thank you for sharing your beautiful project. And be sure to check out her podcast. So lastly, we've got Liz. And Liz is Knitting with Liz on Instagram. And she also has a YouTube channel. Hers is Knitting with Liz in Austin. It's a husband and wife knitting podcast. And they both knit. And they're fun and cute together. So be sure to check out their podcast too. But Liz made the Bubbly Blossoms blanket by Stephen West. That's an awesome name. And she used West wool, and she said this is her favorite make of 2024, and you'll see why. Look at this. This is amazing. This is an amazing blanket. I love it so much. If it goes missing, you'll need to find out, first of all, how I got your address and how I broke in and brought it home. An excellent job on it, Liz, and it should be your favorite make of 2024. So Yay for Liz, and yay for everyone who shared their projects with us. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate seeing what you've made. If you would like to share what you've made with us, you can send me a picture and some information on Instagram. You can DM me. Mine is a.handknit.letter. Or if you prefer to email me, you can email me at AHandKnitLetter@gmail.com. So that's all the showing for today. Let's talk about some telling. I have a couple podcasts I wanted to share with you. Let me consult my professional notes. The first one is Jen Geigley Knits, and she's a super cool, rad lady here on YouTube. And she's a knitwear designer. She lives in an awesome, like minimalist / modern house that looks really cool with an amazing looking fireplace. And she knits with some bright colors but like wearable things. Like her things are bright but wearable and not scary for me. So I really like Jen, and she's got a great personality. And she's really close to hitting 10,000 subscribers, which is kind of like a milestone that she's looking forward to reaching. So go on over there and give her a follow. So the next one is a podcast that I just found like 2 days ago. And her name is Ellie, and her channel is called All Wool Fiber. And she's a nurse, she spins, she knits, and she does her podcast kind of like a vlog style, which I think is really fun and kind of relaxing and cozy to watch. And I really enjoyed the last 2 episodes that I watched from her. So I subscribed, and I think that you'll enjoy her as well. Some stuff for free that you can watch on YouTube. Currently they have a movie called Widow's Peak. It's a comedy / mystery. And it's got Mia Farrow in it, and Joan Plowright, who I love, and Natasha Richardson. Basically, it's about an English war widow that moves to this Irish village, and the local people are kind of suspicious of her, and she's not treated that great, but there's like a backstory on why she's there, and we find out at the end there's a good plot twist, and it's fun. Next one is Her Alibi. It's a light comedy / suspense / mystery. It is not something that's going to keep you up, as when I say suspense. It's very light and easy to watch. It stars, speaking of easy to watch, it stars Tom Selleck, the only man who I think should be allowed to have a mustache. But yeah, it's really good. It's cute. And it's like a love story too. And it's about a mystery novelist who sees this beautiful woman on TV who's been accused of murder, and he doesn't think she could possibly do it because of how like beautiful and innocent she looks, and so he makes it a mission to help her out. So and then the rest you have to find out yourself. So lastly, I am listening to an audiobook right now that I have been able to check out for free on Libby through my local public library. So maybe check out the Libby app if you want to listen to this too. This is a book called The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. And I'm only 35 minutes into this audiobook, so I will have that as a disclaimer, but so far I'm really enjoying it. And the plot is very intriguing. It is about a young boy who his father is part of a literary guild that has like curated books in this library called the Cemetery of Forgotten Books. And these are obscure titles that people don't really talk about or read, or basically have forgotten about. And so they let him join this guild. And so upon initiation, he can choose any book from the library that speaks to him. So he pulls out a book called The Shadow of the Wind, and it's by a author named Julian Carax, I think, or Carax. And he read the book, loved the book, and he's like, I've got to read more from this guy. But then he can't find anything else from the author, and nobody knows about the author. And actually, he may possess one of the only copies of that book because people or somebody is destroying this author's novels, or specifically that book. That's as far as I've gotten in the book. So I'm hooked. It's really enjoyable. Like I said, I don't know any more past 35 minutes into it, so I don't know if there's anything that I can tell you, like if it gets too intense or if there's any kind of trigger things to share with you. I don't know. But so far, I really am enjoying it. So that's what I'm doing. And then another thing is I want to share an Instagram, do we call them channels? Accounts? Yeah, an Instagram account by this girl named Allison, and she posts like weekly meal plans and like how much she spends on groceries with her family, and also quick easy dinners. And there was one dinner that I made recently. I'm gonna link that below. And it is a one pot pasta bake thing with orzo and like one of those Borson, I don't know if I say that right, no one's ever said it out loud to me, but one of those creamy cheeses with the chives and the garlic and all that in the middle, and spinach and chicken and sun-dried tomatoes and lemon juice. And if you don't like chicken, I'm sure you can sub out mushrooms and eggplant and artichoke hearts would be really good. But you bake it all together and then you mix it up, and it gets creamy when you mix it up, and it is so good. Like it's like you can make it for company. It's that good. It's not just like a one pot, like slop it on the table type, like I'm super tired, this is what you're eating family kind of meal. It's really, really good. So I will link that below. And other than that, that's all I got. That's all I got to show and all I got to tell. I hope you're doing well, and I wish you well. Until next time, bye-bye.